And as we saw, temperatures are going to start warming up by next week. We could see the high 20s in Kamloops. Great news. That's what we love to see. But we also have to be smart about our sun intake. Manshadi joining us from Manshadi Pharmacy with some great tips today about being smart in the sun. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me, Susan. So there is a new national guidelines that is not been changed since for 20 years. So there is new national guidelines. So I thought maybe we can discuss that today.
We have a board of points that we're going to talk about, so perhaps we could bring them up. So the first one is check the day's UV index to see what you're handling.
That's correct. So you can check that one on your internet, and if the index are greater than 3, then you want to protect yourself better. And in the old update, it used to be between 10 to 4. Now they have changed it to 10 to 3 p.m.
The most intense heat of the day?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's the time that you really need to protect yourself when you go out there and enjoy the sun.
Okay. And as well, cover up, don't just rely on sunblock. You don't have to be out in a bikini the whole time.
That's correct. Now they also say if it is possible, we should do, maybe a longer sleeve, longer pants, sunglasses, hat, and maybe a shade. That way we are protected better. So that's also is been in the new guidelines. They recommend that as well too.
Okay, the next point, use a higher SPF. So the old rule was what?
15. Now they have increased it to 30. So we should use minimum sun protection factor of 30 or higher.
I'll be honest, I can't believe it took them 20 years to create new guidelines. I know a lot of people that use 60, and
yes,
for it to be 15. Do you have any idea why it took 20 years for them to update those?
Yes, for the longest time, they couldn't agree, like the dermatologists, the cancer group, the Canadian Cancer Society, they couldn't come to the agreement because sun protection factor of 15 is only protects 90% of the UVB. Sun protection factor of 30 is protect you 97%. And if you go to sun protection of 50, it's only 1% more and protect you 98% of UVB. So, but this year they decided that we should go to UVB protection of a sun protection factor of 30 and higher. But they finally they came to agreement and they came up with this guideline. It took them 20 years, that's correct.
That's a long time.
That's right.
The next topic is seek shade. That makes absolute sense.
That's right. That's, again, whenever possible, umbrella, tree, hat and sunglasses and so forth is very much important. And sometimes we can also use lip balm with the sun protection factor of 15 and higher maybe as well too.
And then the last one, of course, is very key. Everything in moderation.
Yes.
If you're in for an hour, maybe get out for an hour.
Yeah, so we shouldn't be afraid of, getting out there and enjoy the sun, but we should definitely avoid getting burned by the sun because when it penetrates in the skin, especially UVB, can cause cancer. And melanoma is actually one of the only cancers that they are on rise. Some of the other cancers are declining, but melanoma is increasing in Canada.
So the UVB are the bad ones?
The UVB is a short wavelength and UVA is a long wavelength. UVA goes deeper and UVB usually goes to the superficial skin. And UVB is, yes, that's correct. That's the one that is we are more worried about.
Last question. I think I asked somebody about this last season as well. When is the SPF count redundant? You see SPF 80 out there. Come on, is that working? What is that doing for you?
No, this is not necessary. As I said, SPF of 30 is 97%, and then if you go to SPF of 50, there's only 1% more.
Yeah.
So, somewhere around 30, 45,
40,
50, that's good enough. I wouldn't go any higher.
Because I find they charge you more as
That's
it gets
right.
higher.
That's
so
right.
don't waste your money past, what, SPF 45-ish?
45, 50, that would be the
Yeah.
greatest. I think that's what I would go, especially for people with a lighter skin like yourself,
Yes.
and for perhaps children and so forth. You know, you don't want to go too high. And there's two kinds. There's a chemical one and there's a physical one that we can choose from when we go and get when we go and buy a sunscreen.
Excellent. All right, we are out of time today, Misa. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me again.
Yeah. Got to be sun smart, and it is going to get warm next week, so definitely make sure you're taking care of buying the proper SPF and staying out of the sun. Don't want to be in for too long. We're going to be talking about wine in grocery stores when we come back. Stay with us.